Well, hello there, tankers of the Blitz universe. I'm Flossie, and today I will be reviewing the T110E5. This tank has been through so many different balancing changes and phases ever since it was released into the game, but as of right now, I will say it's probably in one of the strongest states it has ever been in. More on that in a bit, but first, let's break into the tank's stats. It deals 400 damage on its standard shells, 340 on the premium, and 515 on the high explosive. Its penetration is 267 on the standard, 374 on the heat, which is excellent, like really good heat pen, and 66 on the high explosive. It has some of the best gun handling for a tier 10 heavy at 2.6 seconds of aiming time with a dispersion of 0.299, so you won't have any trouble hitting your shots in this tank. It also carries 8 degrees of gun depression and pretty solid DPM numbers. While using calibrated shells, you can get the DPM up to almost 2700, and with rammer, you can get it up to almost 2900. Although, since this tank has such good heat pen, I would recommend you use calibrated just to squeeze every bit of pen you can out of this tank's gun. In terms of the mobility, it goes 42 forwards, which is really nice. However, oh boy, it goes 12 in reverse, which is absolutely horrible. And the reverse speed is one of the big balancing factors of this tank. It means that you are going to be getting yourself into situations that you sometimes just can't get yourself out of. Sometimes you're just way too slow to reverse and evade your opponents. So that's a huge downside for this tank. The tank also carries sandbag armor, so that's really nice. You can get its hit points up to, I believe, almost 2700 with using while using double sandbag, but I only choose to use one simply because I think 2576 hit points is enough for this tank, and I just like using double food for the better stat values. And now, in terms of the tank's armor, this tank has really strong turret armor. Now, what you want to do with that is on a map like Mines, you want to use this tank hull down to the best of your ability, because using 8 degrees of gun depression plus a strong turret means excellence. And basically, the only weak spots you have on this tank's turret are the hatch and the cheeks, which are really small, but they are there to tanks with high enough pen. But even with tanks that have high pen, they're still going to have a hard time cutting through these, as I've shot at E5 cheeks before and they've looked gray to me, but they've still just bounced, so it's a really troll shot. The main weakness of this tank is the hull armor. Like, speaking about the armor, the hull is terrible, and especially the lower plate and side armor is where it's really weakest. So the upper plate is okay, especially when you're hull down, it's fine, it's whatever. But yeah, the lower plate can get heshed by pretty much everything with hesh, like really easily too. So like 2 and 5Bs are going to absolutely rip you apart if you give them the opportunity to. And also, any other tank can just pen you with AP in the lower plate, even like tier 9s can too. So it's pretty sad. And then the side armor, the tracks on this tank are so weak. You are going to get tracked in place like more times than you can count on your hands in a battle, and it really makes it quite annoying sometimes when you get tracked in place and then you can only reverse at 12 to try and back yourself out of that situation, so then you just keep getting tracked over and over again. So that's one of the main downsides of this tank. Another thing about this tank that's not so fun is the ammo rack. It's very weak. Oh my gosh, you will get your ammo rack damaged so often in this tank, and actually, for the matter, all of your modules are weak on this tank. So, like, try and avoid showing your hull at all costs, because the second someone pens your front, like, lower plate, even in your track wheel, your ammo rack or your engine or something's going to get damaged, and it's really not fun. Unfortunately for us, we're like basically the only ones holding this hill right now, so we're kind of just allowing this BZ to just get up on top of the hill, which is not very good. And this E100's also probably just going to pen me, right? Oh, maybe he's not. Maybe he just can't see my hull, which is good, I guess. But yeah, we're going to use that nice accuracy and get a shell right into the 60 TP's hatch, and luckily their grill is now dead, so I don't have to worry about hiding from him anymore. So I'm going to push back on up towards the 60 TP, and we're going to get a nice heat shell into his side upper plate thing there, whatever that is. And again, we're just going to go back to holding this hill. Mines is such a good map for this tank. You're just able to really work the hill so effectively in this thing. And you could see there, like, the E100 on that enemy team, he just stopped, like, staring at us. Like, he just tried penning my turret. He, like, looked at it with his premium shells, probably, and said, no, and he just couldn't pen it. So he just kind of gave up and just started shooting at other people. Now, all that's left is a one-shot 1-2-1B, and their last TD, the 268, in the back corner. So their 1-2-1B gets finished off. And I'm going to make my way over for some more damage on the 268 because I'm a damage whore. Here we go. Here's the 268. And unfortunately, that's not where I really aimed, but at least it's still penned. It said it ricocheted, but it's still penned. So I don't really care. Whatever. And we're going to get the clear shot into him. So with that, I think we dealt around 3,700 damage, which is really solid. But for a mines game, I would say that's pretty average. Like, you're going to be able to do a lot of damage in this tank using its DPM and the hull down capabilities that it carries. And we actually did over 4K, which is pretty impressive. So there we go, top on the team for our first game. Now, loading into the second game. We'll see what kind of things we can do. Thank you, Wargaming. A minute 20 and still no game. Ah, yes. Finally, our second battle, and it's on Nube. Not a bad map for this tank. We can go hull down, honestly, on both sides of the map. We have the bridges on the whichever side, medium side, and we have town, which has the nice hills in the park to go to. So I'm going to follow whichever direction our team goes. And what is our team going to do? Well, it looks like... honestly, I'm just going to go park at this point. I don't know what our team is doing. Half of them are AFK right now, so it's hard to tell what our team's doing. But at least our Vickers is coming back with us. So I'm going to go to park and use my hull down capabilities against no one, because I just noticed their whole team is going bridge. So it doesn't really matter that I'm in park hull down now, because no one's here. So in that case, I'm going to cross the open. This is a little bit sketchy, but because no one's over here, it actually doesn't matter. And you know what? Because I'm feeling a bit ballsy right now, we're going to go for a very aggressive position onto the bridge here. Now, what this is going to do, it's going to completely lock off the enemy's ability to really do anything to us. Although the VK-90 is going to be able to get to our side, but I'm more worried about the Sheridan at the moment, and this VK will probably get nuked by our team if he keeps staying here. As you can see there, he just got nuked for 500, and their Leopard is actually dead. I'm going to start getting shots into their Progetto now. You can see this area on the map, this bridge right here, is such a good spot for this tank. This Sheridan cannot really pen us, and with our nice accuracy, we're able to get a shell right in between the metal railings of this bridge, right into the Sheridan. Now we see the 57 Heavy. I'm going to lock him in place with a tracking juicer, and he's not doing too well anymore. He's actually kind of in a really bad spot, so I'm going to get another shell into him for 391. And with that, he's only on 650 health. And this Sheridan's doing even worse than the 57 Heavy. So I'm going to pick up the clear on the Sheridan. And then, actually, instead of going for the 57, I see damage. And because my name is Flossie and I like to farm damage like an absolute monkey, I'm going to go for the VK and this Yag and the Minnow instead. So the VK ran away, so I can't really shoot at him anymore. But the Minnow's sitting on bridge, kind of doing nothing. So I might as well get some shells right into his turret using my nice heat pen. And we get one into his engine. I was kind of hoping to light him on fire with that shot, but oh well. Look at this Minnow. He's speeding up towards us. Oh no, he died. Oh, how sad. Now, with our nice heat pen again, we're going to be able to get a shell right into the Yag's superstructure. And just like that, he's going to get absolutely destroyed. And hopefully, actually, I might go for the kill into the Yag. Why not? Get some extra kills. And just like that, only the VK is left here. Juan, let's go, Juan. Come on. Give me some damage. Don't give the Leopard all the damage. Come on, bro. Yes, we got the kill shot into him. And just like that, that's the end of game number 2. We dealt almost 3,700 damage in that game just by taking a super aggressive position on the bridge. And we were able to really hold that well. Now, that position is a little bit sketchy sometimes. So I would honestly be really careful. Like, you really have to know where your team is and where the enemy team is to be able to take that position. Because if you take that position and the enemy team is in a different position than they were in that game, they can easily just destroy you. But again, hull down gameplay is where it's at in this tank. Anyways, for any of you out there who haven't subscribed yet to the channel, I mean, you really should, because it's free. And it really supports me and helps out the channel and everything in between. Anyways, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.